Wow. Just wow. So I've now read the second Danny Phantom graphic novel, and it really felt like more of a return to the show than the first book did. As a former Danny Phantom fanfiction comic writer myself, I'm just really impressed by what Gabriela Epstein is able to do. This book captures so well the feeling of watching the show. It really brought me back in time. Makes me feel like a kid again reading new Danny Phantom comics. It's amazing. The way this book is able to weave together different plot lines and loose ends from the show is just really impressive to me. And Killian Ing did an amazing job with the backgrounds. It looks just like an episode of the show, except might even be better. Please support this book. Please support the first book as well. Even if you didn't like the first book, this book is so different from that one. Even though it's a direct sequel, it still feels like a different entity from that first book. So please give this one a read. It's got Danny, it's got Danny's cousin, it's got Valerie, it's got Wulf. What else would you want from a Danny Phantom continuation? Alright, we're going to be breaking down the story now. This is your spoiler warning. Buy the book, read it, enjoy. Alright, let's talk about this plot. So the first book, to me, it felt like the Danny Phantom Netflix movie that Invader Zim and the Rocco Smart Life and Hey Arnold got. It was a pretty self-contained story. If it didn't get a sequel, I wouldn't have been heartbroken because it just wrapped up its story very nicely. This one leaves you wanting more. Fair Game feels like the start of a season-long story arc if Danny Phantom got a new season now. Danny and Valerie's rivalry is resolved in this book. They are no longer enemies by the end of the story, but also starts some other new character arcs for his cousin and Dark Danny. For the rest of this video, I'm going to call his cousin Daniela because their names basically sound the same, and I don't want to get myself confused. So in this book, Daniela returns to Amity Park and she wants to join Danny's team, and it's like, yes, finally, that's what everybody wanted in the first place. Daniela not joining the main cast is just as annoying as when Supergirl didn't in Superman the Animated Series. Why couldn't she stay in Metropolis? Come on. I'm so glad that My Adventures with Superman fixed that, so we don't have to deal with her just not being in every episode when you think she should be. And it's interesting that the story includes both Daniela and Valerie, when both characters have grudges against Vlad that I want to see resolved. But it's also good to have a story with Daniela without Vlad involved, since both of her appearances in the show revolved around Vlad. It's good to give her some space so she can develop more. But yeah, this book ends with her going off on her own again with Dark Danny. And you, of course, want to see that in the next book after this. You want to see both of them come back and fight against Vlad or something. Wulf also gives a warning to Danny that Walker is building an army of ghosts to hunt Danny down. So it makes you wonder who he's going to assemble as his Sinister Six or whatever in the next book. But I'm getting ahead of myself, honestly. Let's get back to talking about this book instead of what happens next. I think this book is around 5 pages longer than the last one, but it feels a lot longer than that. I guess that's just because there's a lot more going on in the story. This could have easily been the plot of like 3 or 4 different episodes of the series. I do kind of wish that some of the more main cast members of the show got more time to shine in this book, but they got some time to shine in the last book. So I'm not heartbroken about not getting more of like Jack and Maddie. It would have been nice if we got to see Jazz interact with Daniela or Dark Danny again, but you know, there's no room for that in this story. Also, now that I'm thinking thinking about it, I don't think Jazz has ever talked to Valerie all that much in the show anyway. They've never had any sort of relationship, so I guess it makes sense to not give Jazz a big role in the story. But yeah, no, it's just nice to have Danny and Valerie finally put their differences aside, work together, become friends again, become partners in ghost fighting. It's just so nice to finally get that moment after all these years. Seeing Dark Danny's new status quo being trapped inside of a clone body of Danny, it is interesting. They do some funny things with it, but I hope they do something else with it afterwards. Because it's weird, right? He keeps talking in the book about how he wants to destroy the world, but he's not destroying the world. He doesn't have the power to do so anymore. It makes you wonder how he is going to get himself out of this mess that he put himself in. I don't trust him to get a redemption arc or anything. He's still going to destroy the world if he's not kept in check. Heck, if there's any ghost that belongs in Walker's jail, it's Dark Danny. Put him on ice like Captain America, we'll lock him away and throw away the key. He's not to be trusted. You can't fix him. Don't try it. So yeah, that's most of my thoughts on this book. I can't believe that we're still getting new Danny Phantom stuff. It's mind-blowing how long it's been since it ended. It makes me so happy seeing these characters being handled so well. My gosh, it's just a direct continuation of the show. It doesn't feel like a reboot at all. It feels exactly the same. My gosh, I don't believe it. How did we get this book? What did we do to deserve this book? It's so good. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Danny Phantom Fair Game. If you want to hear my thoughts on the first book, Danny Phantom A Glitch of Time, you can click the video on screen right now.